Why Solomon, man of wisdom and man of foolishness? Solomon, the king of peace. The name Solomon comes from the Hebrew Shlomo, which derives from the Hebrew word shalom, meaning peace, ascended the throne during Israel's golden age, taking the place of his father, David the beloved. David means beloved in Hebrew. This name was also passed on to Solomon at the time of his birth. According to 2 Samuel 12 verses 25, when David presented the newborn Solomon to the prophet Nathan, the prophet called him Jedidiah, which in Hebrew means, beloved of Jehovah. Before David died, however, he left a charge upon Solomon, much like other righteous fathers have done for their children throughout the ages. Before his death, Lehi left blessings upon each of his children. This follows the patriarchal pattern, first established by Adam and later practiced by such notables as Abraham, Isaac, Jacob and Joseph. Many kings ascended the throne of Israel from the time of Saul to the dissolution of both the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. None of these kings, however, obtained the power and prestige that Solomon did. Nearly 1,000 years before Solomon, Abraham had been promised that his seed would receive the land of Canaan for their inheritance, including territory as far north as the Euphrates River, Genesis 12 verses 7 to 18. But not until Solomon's time was this promise fully realized. Solomon extended the domain of Israel from the Red Sea on the south to the Euphrates River on the north. The golden age of Israel started under King David, continued under Solomon. During the 40 years that Solomon ruled as king of Israel, there was peace and unity throughout his vast domain. At the beginning of his reign, Solomon loved the God of Israel and made covenant with God that he would walk in obedience throughout his administration as king of Israel. Solomon was promised wisdom, riches, honor, and long life if he would continue in righteousness before the Lord. The promise was fulfilled. During his life, Solomon became famous for his wisdom. Great men and women from many nations came to hear him and test his understanding and knowledge. Solomon also acquired great wealth, and there were said to be no kings in all the earth who could compare to him. Under Solomon's reign, Israel reached her greatest point as a nation, honor, wealth, power, and respect, because of the administration of his greatest king. Nevertheless, at the end of Solomon's reign, Israel became temporally and spiritually bankrupt. Deterioration and strife were everywhere. Within a year of Solomon's death, the land was divided into two kingdoms, and the course of Israel's history was permanently altered. Solomon the Wise. Solomon's career began in as promising a way as anyone in the Old Testament. Israel had finally reached the borders that were to be hers, according to the Lord's promise to Abraham, and the Lord had promised that peace would exist throughout Solomon's entire reign. The Lord appeared to the young king in a dream and asked, "What shall I give unto thee?" 1 Kings 3 verses 5. Solomon, then humble and dedicated to the Lord, sought wisdom and was richly rewarded. And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding, exceeding much, and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the east country, and all the wisdom of Egypt. Soon after he ascended the throne, Solomon journeyed to Gibeon, some 5 miles to the northwest of Jerusalem, to offer sacrifices unto the Lord at the sacred high place established for that purpose. At that time in Israelite history, the permanent temple had not yet been built. The Ark of the Covenant, the symbol of God's presence with Israel and the nucleus of what was later to be the Jerusalem temple, had traveled from place to place throughout the Holy Land without finding a worthy abode. During the night at Gibeon, the Lord appeared unto Solomon and extended a marvelous invitation, an invitation that is likewise extended to each of us as his children. Ask what I shall give thee. In deep humility, Solomon expressed his gratitude to the Lord for all that he received. He acknowledged his dependence upon the Lord. Then in perfect simplicity, like an innocent child, he requested of the Lord, "Give therefore, thy servant, an understanding heart, that I may discern between good and bad." For many years, Solomon's sagacity blessed the lives of his people. Through this gift, Israel was blessed, both materially and spiritually, for many years of Solomon's reign. Solomon the Foolish. Soon after the Jerusalem temple was completed, the Lord again appeared unto Solomon, reiterating the blessings contingent upon faithfulness, but this time adding curses, if Solomon should turn away. "If thou wilt walk before me, as David thy father walked, in integrity of heart and in uprightness, to do according to all that I have commanded thee, and will keep my statutes and my judgments, then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever. As I promised to David thy father, saying, There shall not fail thee a man upon the throne of Israel. But if ye shall at all turn from following me, ye or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes, which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods, and worship them, then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them, and this house, which I have hallowed for my name, will I cast out of my sight, and Israel shall be a proverb and byword among all people, and at this house, which is high, every one that passed by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss, and they shall say, Why hath the Lord done thus unto this land, and to this house? And they shall answer, Because they forsook the Lord their God, who brought forth their forefathers out of the land of Egypt, and have taken hold upon other gods, and have worshipped them and served them. 1 Kings 9 verses 4-9. It is well known that as the years increased, and Solomon continued to enjoy immense prosperity, he fell into the same destructive cycle. Sadly, in his later years, Solomon turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, and the Lord was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from the Lord, God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice, and had commanded him that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord commanded. 1 Kings 11 verses 9-10. Due to his unfaithfulness, the Lord took Solomon's kingdom away from him and rent it in half. Solomon allowed his love for material things and his great accomplishments as a builder to wean him from his early devotion to the Lord. True, he achieved great fame while the temple was being built, and his dedication of the house of the Lord was one of his most spiritual moments, but later, when the Queen of Sheba and other foreign visitors paid their respects, they said little about Solomon's righteousness or wisdom. Rather, they expressed amazement and awe at his tremendous achievements in building. Solomon appears to have grown hungry for the plaudits of men. He decided to construct even grander structures. To do so, he enforced heavy taxation upon his people, so heavy that he eventually forced his people into poverty. Conclusion: the Lord promises are extended unto us in these latter days. But like it was for the Lord covenant people who have gone on before us, these promises are contingent upon our faithfulness, wisdom. If we are unfaithful, we are indeed foolish, for we have then squandered the most valuable gifts of eternity for a mess of pottage today. Humility, meekness, righteousness, faithfulness, and I single, to the glory of God, each of these contribute to a life of wisdom, a life after the manner of God, the source of all wisdom. Please, if this is your first time on my YouTube channel, kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Thanks for watching and remain blessed.